my goodness, guys. This golf cart right here has been a royal pain in my flibbity gibbets. Trying to convert this thing to lithium is not easy. If you have a 2002 club car, trying to convert it over from lead acid, you know, those nasty things, to lithium ion, this thing is a pain in the beep. I mean, I probably said so many curse words or things like curse words, like saying rats, bats, flop, that, yeah, you're not gonna believe how hard it is to change out these batteries in this thing. But I'm gonna fast forward. I wanna show you how it looks now. You're not gonna believe it. It looks totally different. Look at that. Whoa. There we go. This thing was completely full of batteries. Now it only has one battery and a compartment that has all my stuff over there. But man, oh man, stay tuned and see how this is done. It is not for the faint of heart. Gosh. Oh yeah, P.S. I also put a Anderson port on the side of my golf cart. That way I can plug in my solar setup into my golf cart. More on that on a different video, but I'm going to show probably me putting in the Anderson port and also changing out the standard golf cart charger to just a regular extension cord thing right there. Alrighty, since we just did the real world test on the EnjoyBot 48 volt battery, now it's time to get the batteries out of this golf cart and get that thing in here. The battery compartment cleaned up, that way we can put that 48 volt battery, EnjoyBot battery, in this golf cart. I found out something I had no idea. I knew the batteries are underneath here, and I thought I was going to take these screws out, which were holding the seat on. But when I was doing it, I put a board underneath there to hold the seat up, and lo and behold, I found out that instead of taking the screws out, once the seat's up like your hair, you can just pick up on it, and it disconnects. So that is going to save me a lot, because I thought I was going to have to take off the these nuts right here. But once I put a wrench on it and I started putting some torque on it, this came out of the slot. I'm like, oh, cool. Let me give you a view of what I'm looking at inside here. So, as you see, we have, I thought these were 6 volt batteries, but they're actually 8. So you have 8, 8, and 8. So they're like 16, 32, 48. So this is a 48 volt system. I've already checked it with my multimeter, and it was putting out 50 volts. They're held down by these clamps right here. It's in the middle of the batteries. So I got to take out 2 screws. First I want to start taking out the jumper wires that goes between like this battery and that battery. That way it isolates them into 16 volts instead of having to deal with these 50 volts. I'd rather break them down to smaller voltage. That way, you know, I don't have to worry about touching something wrong. Because, yeah, better safe than sorry, right? This cable right here, I believe, is the 12 volt accessory for like the lights, the buzzer. Okay, now I have all the batteries isolated. Now start just taking off the jumper that connects the two. That should be for the charger. And over here, that was the main positive, and over here is the main negative. I'm not planning on using these wires anymore. I wonder if I can use this wire as a hook. I know I never said why the golf cart was so hard to do. It's because if you look at these rails right here, these are part of the frame members, and they actually come up. The battery actually sits down between each individual rail. So by trying to put one, you would think putting the battery in long ways would be best, but the problem with that is the battery would be sticking up out of the compartment, and so the seat couldn't sit down. So the only way to do this freaking golf cart is to do it sideways in that middle compartment. That's the best way I've seen. That's the best way that I've seen other people do it. So that's why I'm doing this video, to show you what I had to do to get this EnjoyBot battery in this golf cart. So now as I finish up taking these batteries, I only got a couple of things left to do, and these things came out pretty easy. Now it's time to take out all the other components like the charger port, because I'm going to be replacing that. Now, this one thing I wasn't expecting to have to do is take out all of these bolts, to take out all of the pretty much everything you see here, the hood and the tailgate. You gotta take it all off so you can get the body off. Here's where I had to get help come in, because once you get this thing off, you have to have someone help you get it off of the golf cart. Okay, what I'm going to do, okay, this thing is turned upside down on my bench up here. This is the side that had the power plug that went in. What I'm trying to do is, this is the toggle switch, where the run toggle. I'll post a picture right here what this is. I don't want it right here because this is where the battery is going to be at. I want to move this about a foot over here, and how you got to do that is this bracket right here is screwed on for these 2 screws on this side, 2 screws on that side, and what that is that's where the seat sits into. So you just got to undo those 4 bolts from the seat, and I can pull this bracket out, and I can measure, drill 2 holes right here, and basically move this toggle switch from in the middle to the side. That way this won't be interfering with my battery connections. What's up, my friends? Just to let you know, I did not have an accident. What I did was I'm had to reroute some of these wire cables. So the easiest thing to do is just kind of tilt the golf cart to the side, and I'll show you what I did. This wire harness right here is what the brake lights on the back of the cart goes to, and also in that same harness is the auxiliary power and ground. This was routed right here with this gray wires. It was a zip tied all the way in the back right there. The problem I was having was the auxiliary power and ground was on the other side of the battery, because I was wanting to put everything in this cubby hole right here where that piece of wood is. So it wouldn't go behind the battery right there. It would kind of stop right there. So I turned it upside down so I could reroute this cable. Instead of going underneath this way, it went up, over, and it'll come out right here. And also I got little holes already drilled in this floor pan, so I'm able to zip tie this right here to the floor pan itself. And plus I'm going to put some electrical tape around all these corners, things like that. So I just want you to know that's what I'm doing. I just reroute this cable, that way it was on the correct side of the battery. Okay, just finished. I got this cord, I zip tied it a little bit right here, that way it wouldn't be dangling right there. I got it zip tied to the bottom of the floor. Here's the top of the floor mat. See a zip tie right there and right there. That's going to be underneath the floor mat, which holds this right here. And that's going to go through right here. That way I'll be able to put all my electrical, my blocks up on this piece of wood right there. All right, now time to flip the golf cart the right side up. I also seen that this is a serviceable differential. So I'm going to change the fluid before, also, as a service. This is where it drains. You fill it up to the level right here. See what I did? This wire comes up. This is where the 12-volt accessory is going to be. This is perfect because I have the negative cable, the main negative accessories. I went ahead and unhooked the main positive. The positive just goes right underneath here to right on the solenoid right there. And when I was looking at it, it looked all nasty and black. And so this doesn't have to be this long. So I'm able to shorten this quite a bit. So I'm gonna go ahead and just redo both ends on this cable, and just that way I have my positive. Pretty much all my components are gonna be right here in this compartment. My battery charger. I want to put a terminal block right here. That will. So instead of having like 4 of these cables all tied to the battery, I'd rather have it hooked to a terminal block, like how I have it over here on my solar power setup. If I zoom in, see I got the power blocks right there. So I'd rather have something like that than have all those wires tied underneath the battery with a longer bolt. So I'm gonna have the this distribution blocks right here on this piece of wood right here. Alright, so the first thing I want to do today, this morning, is I'm going to be changing out the differential fluid. I got some STP gear oil, 7590. So I already got the body for the golf cart. So now is the time, the easiest time, to change out the gear oil. So I'm going to do that real quick. Alright. First I'm going to break loose the fill plug, just to see if it's going to be full. Well, I do see some moisture on the plug. Well, okay, so took out the fill plug and there's nothing coming out, which means I know the level is below where you fill it at. Now time to pop out the drain plug. Yep, I made a boo-boo. I thought maybe all the liquid could fill that cup, but I estimated how much liquid is in that differential. So I made a little mess. Yep, I made a mess. So let me go ahead and get the drain plug in. I'm really surprised to see that this thing was actually full, because I thought, since maybe I have no idea about the history of the golf cart, I was like, I bet it's gonna be bone dry. Well, happy to see that I'm wrong. Now I'm just cleaning off the magnet, because the drain plug has a magnet on the end of it. It had some, the normal kind of goop stuff on it. So I just want to get that magnet cleaned off before I stick the drain plug back in. So that should mean that this differential is going to be good. There we go. Now while filling it, I may make another mess. So before I clean up this mess, I'm going to go ahead and fill up the differential with the gear oil. And then you just got to put fluid in so you see it coming out of the hole. Is it coming out? Yes, it is coming out. Now what do I do with the actual, here it is. So plug goes in. Yep. There we go. So one thing is I have a wood shop, which means I have a lot of sawdust. So I'm using sawdust to soak up the fluid and then just sweep it up and throw it in the trash. But I guess first I need to get the golf cart out of my way. Okay, the plywood I'm going to spray with my Herculiner Battle Liner spray. Not really planning on having it out in the rain or anything, so I just wanted to have just a little bit of extra protection. Now I'm in my paint booth. As you see, I got the fan up there drawing the exhaust fumes away from me. So I'm not wearing a respirator because basically the door is literally just around the other side of the camera, so I'm having all this fresh air come across my face and exiting right there. So now it's time to mount this monitor. So I've already took out the dash out of my Club Car DS, and I was trying to figure out a good place to put it, and this here would be the perfect place. This, sticker's already getting torn off and everything. I was going to trace it on the front, but I noticed on the back that has this little ridge piece right here. And so I don't want to really cut through that ridge piece. It wouldn't be not that bad, but it's just more work to cut there when this is more, it will happy to fit right in this compartment right there. So why cut that? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a pencil, I'm going to lay this in here. I'm not going to push it all the way against that ridge because this thing fits by pressure. It has these little tabs, and so I don't want to have it all the way up against that. So I'm just going to put up against it, back it off just a hair, hold it right there with this hand, and take a pencil and outline the mark there. Looks like there's some little corrosion on the, this is the switch. There's a little corrosion there we'll clean off. And that's the reverse buzzer. And this right here is the light. I put some WD-40 in it, just, why not? So you can see where the bottom is going to be at. It is reverse. That way I can watch the line because I can't get the jigsaw in here because how it's raised. So I'll have to turn this upside down and do it like that. And of course, there's a wire in my way. I don't want to hit that wire. Boom. There is my battery monitor with a warning sign above it. Warning, warning. Okay, to get the wire for the controller back here, I'm gonna have to route it underneath the golf cart. And the easiest way to do it is like this right here. There's no batteries. This thing literally weighs nothing right now. So I can just pretty much just turn it upside down like I did earlier. So I'm just going to pick up right here. All right, so I can see the hole That's the dash all the way up right there. Actually, these two wires go right up in there. So I'm just going to zip tie it. I'll probably on this line all the way down to go to that compartment I need to get the wire to. I didn't want to take the steering wheel off, so I did have to cut. There was already like a place you could cut it right there. So I just took my knife and I cut it, so that way I could, you know, get it off the steering wheel without removing the wheel. I don't think it's not going to cause any more problems. It's like it was made for that. Like I said, it already had like a indent right there for ease of cutting. All right, so let's go and get this wired up. So this is the cable for that monitor. So I got a long enough cable, 12 volt accessory, main negative, main positive. Now I'm waiting for my wood to dry or cure. I got it in the sun to help heat it up. That way I can put the boards in and get the battery in and get it ratcheted down, and almost done. Just finished. So let me give you a quick rundown right here real quick. Okay, this is, I changed out. These are the old golf cart batteries. This here was the old charge port. So I removed that. And of course you saw me install this plug, which just takes like a regular outlet. And what that does, that goes in here, and that goes to the charger right here. And as you can hear, it's charging the battery. You can see the red light right there going on. And so from the charger, the red wire goes up to this red power block. The negative goes to the negative power block right here. Inside here, I have, instead of having like, you know, 5 cables on my main lug, the lug goes directly to the middle one right here. That goes to the battery. That goes to the golf cart. That goes to my Anderson plug, which is right here. And the last wire, the small one, goes to the charger. So in here you got the same thing. You got the charger, Anderson plug, battery, and the main negative to the golf cart. All I have to do left now, of course, there's the shunt that works. The battery is flashing right now because it means it's charging. All I got left now to do is hook this thing up. This is a 48 volt, actually it's a 36-48 volt converter. So it converts 48, it'll convert this 48 volt DC to 12 volt DC. That way it can power the lights. I don't have a horn on it, but it can power the front lights, the tail lights. If you had a radio, it'll power that. So this is all I have left to hook up. But I need to get some ring terminals. So I need to put a ring terminal here on the red, the black. These two, I could do ring terminals, or I can just do locking nuts on these two. But the reason I want to do ring terminals is because on my charging block, I got these little screws. So I can easily attach that DC converter to this bolt. The same thing over here. Got a little small one there. So I can put this right down here. Have these two go into ring terminals, go into the distribution blocks, and then these two will get tied into right here, which is my 12 volt accessories. That's the only thing I don't have hooked up right now, because I'm going to have to order some ring terminals. I didn't think about that until just now. But that is pretty much how you convert your golf cart from lead acid batteries to lithium ion. And next thing to do is test drive it. Time for a test ride. So let me turn on the key right here. Boom. All right, let me put this thing in reverse. There we go. Make sure I'm not going to run over anything. First maiden voyage. Working good. Putting forward. Well, yeah, straight away here, I'm going to gun it. There you go. Whoa. It actually does, has a lot of get up and go. Wow. A lot better than the lead acid batteries in this thing. I'm fixing to go up a hill, but let's see what the amperage goes to. Plug back up. There we go. So guys, I gotta say, this is one heck of an upgrade from lead acid to lithium. It was a pain in the butt to do. I'm sure glad I got it done. And I'm glad I got the EnjoyBot 48 volt battery system in my golf cart right here. So that's it for this video. Stay tuned because I got a lot more planned, especially with this Anderson ports on the side of it.